Are we streaming? Maybe we are. Let's see. Guess we're live. Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Subnewski. Thank you so much for popping by my channel for this live stream. And the topic we're going to be discussing today is I want to start a YouTube channel, but it seems like there's always an excuse. I always hear a lot of excuses from people as to why they're not getting started with their YouTube channels. So I figured, you know what? Let me make a video and let's begin to chip away at some of those reasons why people put off starting their channels. And perhaps one of these reasons could pertain to you as well. So, hopefully, I don't know how well I'm going to do with, Punk 80's in the house. Hello, Punk. And you were one of the people that had commented on one of my last live videos saying, indeed, I do have a channel. But as far as the tutorials go, I don't really do that. So this would be a good example, a prime example probably. What are some of the reasons, or maybe there's just one reason, why you're not starting your YouTube channel? Like, why? Because you do amazing things with LumaFusion, things that I would never even think to do. How come you're not doing what I'm doing as far as, tutorials and instructional videos on things that are that you can do in LumaFusion? What's the reason why you haven't started that? If you care to share. Obviously, no pressure. No pressure. But today we're just discussing the topic. I want to start a YouTube channel, but... and the reasons. Okay, so a lot of times I get, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have the gear. Well, we know, come on, we don't need gear nowadays to do it. All you need is a phone. Everybody's got a phone, and that phone definitely films in high definition. You don't need something spectacular, a 4K camera, a 6K camera. The majority of people are consuming their videos on their devices, and they only show in high definition anyway. So that's an excuse we can chip away right then and there. All you need is your smartphone and a decent microphone, really. And how much is a decent microphone, you might ask? Oh, I don't know, the Pop Voice lavalier microphone. What's that going for? 10, 12 bucks on Amazon? Right there is your YouTube studio. You need a camera, a microphone, and a corner of a room. Just clean up that corner a little bit and you're good to go. So that does away with that excuse right there. I don't have the gear. Everybody has the gear. Everybody. Okay, now what are some other excuses? Well, you know what? I'm camera shy. I can't just sit in front of a camera and start talking. I get nervous. Well, here's the thing. I got nervous too. I tell you, even though I was in a studio, not live. This was just a camera that was recording me. I had a remote and I click record, and all of a sudden my heart would start fluttering. I was like, why am I nervous? Nobody's here. Nobody's here. Nobody's watching. And that's just the thing. If you get nervous and you mess something up, delete the video. No one has to see it. Nobody has to know that you fumbled your words or that you didn't say something properly or you didn't make your right. Just delete it. Keep, get enough footage until you're happy with whatever point it is you're trying to drive across, and then you begin the editing process. But if you're unhappy with something, just delete it. No pressure. You don't have to do live streams like I'm doing right now. Absolutely just delete it. And here's another good thing. I just got in a really good teleprompter to review. So that, if you're camera shy because, you feel like your words are not coming to your mouth and you know what you want to say, but it's just not coming out the way you want it to, get yourself a teleprompter, script it on out, decide what it is you want to say, and put it through the teleprompter. Just read it as naturally as you can, and you're good to go. So welcome to everyone in the chat. Now, one of the people that I'm glad he joined us, Ponk 80. He does really great tricks in LumaFusion. He does have a channel, but he doesn't necessarily do online tutorials like I do. And I asked him, hey, why don't you do what I do? And he says, I hope you don't mind me reading this out loud, Punk. I have ADHD, so I can't really get my brain to cooperate with work that I'm not really into. I enjoy exploring apps and the challenge. So that would be, a good thing for you to have, Punk, is that teleprompter. You just sit down and type out your script, put it into the teleprompter, and away you go. So right there, you could do it because you come up with really amazing things. So before you go says, you gave me the courage to start my channel. The help with LumaFusion was the best part. Thank you so very much. That means a lot to me. It really does. I'm so happy that I was able to help you. Now I have 10,000 watch hours and 1,360 subs in 6 months. I think that's better than I did. Congratulations. That is awesome and amazing. I love to hear that because, you know what? Here's the truth about life. Tim's in the house, Texas Jackdaw. Thanks for joining me, Tim. Good to see you. Tim is an amazing guitar player, by the way, you guys. You just have to focus on the reasons as to why you're not doing them. So we chipped away at the gear. Everybody's got the gear to do it. If you're camera shy, get yourself a teleprompter, start practicing, hit record, and just start talking. If you don't like it, if you don't like the way it sounds, if you don't like the way you look, delete. And keep going until you feel natural and calm in front of the camera. It's not an easy thing. I'm not going to lie. It's not an easy thing to be comfortable in front of a camera. But I promise you, like anything else, with practice, you get better and better and more comfortable until you build up your confidence. And you're like, no big deal. Oh, I think I'll go live tonight because I don't care. Basically, it is what it is, right? The next excuse would be, the topics. I don't think I have anything interesting to share, or I don't think I have anything interesting. Who would watch me? Nobody cares about what I think or something that I have to share. Or incorrect. That's incorrect, because I tell you, when I consume a lot of YouTube, like it seems like YouTube is the only thing really that I'm watching anymore. Goodbye to HBO Max and Hulu. I mean, okay, I have started watching Nine Perfect Strangers because hello, how can you not? So that's on Hulu and that's amazing. But I watch a lot of YouTube, and there are channels on every single topic that you can imagine. There's a guy who shines shoes. He has millions of subscribers. People watch him shine other people's shoes, and he's doing quite well. There's a kid on YouTube who just buys toys. He plays with the toys. He talks about the toys. He reviews them. Millions of subscribers. That's money. There's a girl who plays with, what's that stuff, that glittery stuff? Goo, or the slime. She buys all kinds of slime, makes her own recipes for slime, and that girl has millions of subscribers. That's money in the bank at such a young age, and that's awesome for her. There is someone who wants to see you and wants to hear what it is that you have to share with the world, even if you think it's not interesting. Perhaps you're a mechanic and you can share how to fix particular cars or do oil, because I know I've watched a few videos in my day when I had my Jeep on how to change the oil, because I used to change my own oil in there. So I watched quite a few videos on that. And whatever it is that you think people won't be interested in, I promise you they will. Maybe you're a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan and you like to play the game. Talk about that. Any little thing that you care about and that you love, like what your passion is. Here's the thing. We're all good at something. We all have a passion for something. Now, I know what you think. No, I don't. I don't do anything. I don't know how to play any instruments. I don't talk a second language. I don't nothing. You know, if you're like me and you grew up very poor, here's the problem with growing up poor. You don't get to have as many experiences as someone, let's say, who grows up and has more chances to be exposed to different things, like, let's say, art or instruments or different things. I could be the world, I could be like Tim. I could be the world's greatest guitar player, except for I never got guitar lessons. So I don't know. Maybe I could have been. Maybe I could have been the world's great pianist or prima ballerina. We don't know. You have to get out there and have your experiences to know. So that's, sometimes when you grow up poor, it's hard to know what you're good at because you just don't know. But hopefully by the time you're an adult, you will have found it. Like if it's a passion and you're driven towards it. So everyone's got that thing that they're good at or that they're passionate about. That could be what your channel's about. Any little thing. Maybe you're just a really great storyteller. So there's, I can't remember the name of his channel, but all he does is talk about crimes that have been committed. That's it. He talks about crimes and like, it's not like they're unsolved crimes and he's like, catching the killer or something. These are already solved crimes. And he just kind of retells the story in his own way, throws in his little witty comments every now and then. And this guy's got millions of subscribers. So it's all up to you. You have to find that thing that you're passionate about. So good evening to everybody that's in the chat. Unfortunately, I didn't talk to my the people who usually moderate the things. We're just flowing along here, and they're from. And I don't have my glasses on. It looks like Sheraton. I can play the piano. I'm good at drawing freestyle, but YouTube already got all the best of those. I think you need something original, and I would disagree. That is 1,000% untrue. Because when I started my channel, I was like, there's already so many people doing LumaFusion tutorials. What? Nobody's going to watch my channel for LumaFusion tutorials. How wrong I was. If I had let that stop me, I wouldn't have done it. Don't let that be the thing that stops you, because it's not true. If you can play the piano, play your piano, or do, online lessons, or talk about play songs for people. There is someone that wants to listen to you play the piano. There's someone there that wants you to teach them to play. I mean, there's always. So basically what I'm saying, these bottom lines are, all of your reasons, whatever the reason is, maybe you think you're not pretty enough. Maybe you think you're not smart enough. Maybe you think you're not skinny enough. All of these things, bottom line, they're not really reasons. They're excuses. You've come up with an excuse to sabotage yourself. Don't let that be the case. Don't do that. So really, what's the excuse? And I think the majority of reasons, I think the number one reason why people who don't actually get started with their channel is, and please tell me if you agree or if you disagree, I'm afraid what people will think about me. I'm afraid what people will say to me. I'm afraid. You're afraid of what other people think. And that's the reason that's stopping you. And I think that's true. I think it's true. I definitely was very scared about starting my own channel in my own name. So if that's your thing, maybe you're afraid what people will think of you, that they'll see your channel or say something to you, then maybe don't start your channel in your name. Start it under a pseudonym. And when you get more comfortable and more subscribers and your confidence grows, then you can flip your channel back to your real name. People change their channel names all the time. You have to do it on your comfort level, but you have to get started. You have to get started now, because it's not too late to start a YouTube channel. Every year the population grows. Every year more people are turning to YouTube to consume videos. So your time is now. Just get started. Don't let those voices inside of your head take control of your actions. You only have one life. Just this one life. And every day we get older and older and older. And you know what? It's a really bad thing to sit back when you're older to have regrets. I have regrets. I wish I had done this 10 years ago. I wish I did this or did that. I wish I spent more time with my mom. Whatever it is, that don't live with regrets. It eats you up inside. It really does. So I think just get started. Just start your channel. I mean, if you're leaving a comment on my channel, that means you've got a channel. Whether or not you post to it, that's up to you. So let's see. Who says we all need to start a YouTube channel? I'm talking to the people who have reasons why why they're not. They want to start a YouTube channel, but they're not. I'm not telling everyone to do it. I'm just talking about the people who say, because I've met a lot of people along the way of being on YouTube, shared a lot of stories with other creators or people who were even interested in doing it. And they all say the same thing. The number one thing that I'm worried about is what people will think of me. So this is a conversation for them. If you're someone who doesn't really care, you don't want to post on YouTube, obviously, I'm not telling you have to. No one should ever force you to do anything you don't want. You always must have consent. Okay, I think we all know that. Let's see. As I said, my moderators are not here. So, as a Christian, have to replace fear with faith, prayer, and wisdom, and just hit record. I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses. Jam Joe is only 12 videos and a unique niche, but jumped in at age 53. Good for you. That's awesome and amazing. Teresa Perez says, thank you, Tammy. I needed to hear this because been thinking about it recently. Good for you, Teresa. And here's a funny thing. We're so good with doling out advice, yet sometimes we can't follow our own advice. If our kid came home from school and was like, the kids are picking on me, nobody likes me, I'm not getting along, what's the first thing that you would say to them? You would try to build up their confidence and simply reinforce the fact that you can't care what other people think of you. That is no way to live. That is no way to live. You have to live your life according to what makes you happy. You have to do what makes you happy. And when I say makes you happy, I'm not talking about, breaking laws or anything like that. Obviously, living in the confines of the laws that we have in our civilized society, you must do what makes you happy. I honestly believe that. There's nothing worse than getting older and having these regrets like, I should have done this or I should have done it. It's terrible. And it's a very, very difficult thing. So, that's one thing that you can do. If you're nervous about what people will think about you, start your channel under a pseudonym. Boom. Listen, people are going to leave nasty comments on your channel. It's just a fact of life. People leave nasty comments on my channel. And you know what I do? I just reply back, well, I'm sorry, the video didn't help you or whatever it is. I try not to get too salty. The only time I ever got a little salty with someone was a guy had commented about my shirt was open too low. And I'm not kidding you. It was like as low as this shirt is. And this is not a low cut shirt. Like I think I dress pretty modestly for YouTube. I've seen other channels that, And I don't care what other people wear. I don't judge anyone. They can wear whatever they want to wear. If they want to wear lingerie, I don't care. It's not my business. But I feel like I dress pretty modestly. And the guy's like, oh, look at how low your shirt's open. You'll do anything for clicks. And I was like, no, actually, I know it was a microphone. It was the lavalier microphone Battle, and I had one of them clipped down here, and like you're supposed to have it about 8 inches down from your mouth, so it would make it right here. So I had the microphone clipped here, so I had to unbutton my shirt to put it like right there. And no lie, I don't think that much. This is open a lot, and I just said to him, I'm sorry that my chest skin offends you, but I think that says more about you than it does me. This is not, we're in the United States. We're not living under Sharia law. I can expose a little skin. So I think that's the saltiest I've ever gotten. But here's the thing. If someone is like harassing you, you can always mute their comments so that their comments, you don't see them anymore and no one else can see them. Goodbye to them. But my suggestion is to you, because even though somebody leaves bad comments, I never mute anyone because I believe in free speech advocate. People can say whatever it is that they want to say to me or about me. I have a pretty thick skin. Just the shirt thing got me a little upset because I feel like, hey, like I'm not Amish. Like I can have a V-neck on. Come on, leave me alone. I'm pretty modest, I think, in the long run. On YouTube, I'll put it that way. But so what we're talking about tonight are some of the reasons why people put off starting their own YouTube channel if they want to start their own YouTube channel. No pressure. Does anybody have any suggestions? Because I feel like, my channel is like a community. And sometimes when I do videos, I notice that a lot of you comment back and forth to one another. And I'm like, man, isn't that great? Like these people are helping one another with certain things. And, there's some questions sometimes in my videos that, like, honestly, I don't have the answer to. And I'm the first one to say, I don't know, but I'll try to find out. Then someone will come along before I've found out the answer to do the research to find out the answer, and they'll answer. I'm like, how awesome is that? So I feel like it's so nice to build a community and have each other share, ideas, opinions, tips and tricks. I think that's really nice. Nope, not Amish. Hi, John. John Spamp is in the house. How are you doing? Hope all is well. Well, I don't know if I can say or not. Right, John? I don't know, right? Little secret. That's what I would do. If I was, and listen, I know about the fear of starting a YouTube channel because when I started my channel, I didn't tell anybody. Like I didn't tell my family members. I didn't tell people on Facebook. And that's like the number one rule, that when people are telling you how to grow your channel to get more subscribers and do this and do that, the first thing they do is say, tell everyone in your family, have them subscribe, and then tell them to have everyone they know subscribe, and go on your Facebook page and announce to everyone you got a channel. Please subscribe to it. I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. Like I didn't want anyone to know. I was like, I'm just going to not ask anyone to subscribe to my channel. I just kind of want to grow it organically and see if things may pick up from there. And if people watch my channel, good. And if people don't watch my channel, hopefully they'll start watching it eventually. Like that's what you have to you have to hope for, that eventually something will catch on and some people will come on over and join you. And even when I'm making videos now, I don't think I've ever said, please subscribe to my channel. I don't know if you guys have noticed that about my videos, but I don't do that. I'm not like, please hit the like and subscribe and share. And it's just not me. So Punk came back. I do want to read his response. How much responsibility do we have if we decide to monetize our videos? Does that mean you have to be more consistent with your videos? So good question. You don't have to be. Once you're monetized, you're basically monetized. it's up to you how much you decide to upload. The more you upload, I have to be honest though, the more you upload, YouTube will favor you in their algorithm. They'll recommend you more. But if you begin to upload less, you are going to take a hit. And it's just being honest. When I started my channel, you know, here's another thing. When you start your channel, it doesn't matter how good you think right then and there your first video is. A year later, when you watch it, you're going to cringe, because I've done it already. I'm very cringy with my earlier videos. But yes, they do hit you in the algorithm if you don't consistently upload. When I was first doing my YouTube channel, I was uploading, you guys, like 2 or 3 videos a week. I hit that hard. I hit the ground running. I was cranking out the videos like I was unstoppable. And I kept that pace up. I would say like the first, I don't know, 8 months to a year. Like I was consistent on the money, uploading 2-3 times a week. Sometimes I'd even upload more. Like I was insane. There's just something about it. I can't even, and I hardly had any subscribers. I had like 30 subscribers and I was like, yes, I got 30 subscribers. Oh, this is awesome. There's something that just takes over in your brain. I guess like your brain puts out some kind of chemical that makes you happy about it. And you just want to keep doing what you're doing. And even though I had the 30 subscribers, I was putting that stuff out there for them. But here's another thing though. The more you do videos, the more critical that you become of your own videos, and the more you want to put out a video that's a little more well produced. Like my first video, one of the reasons that I find them so cringy is because they're just me. Like just me talking. There's no B-roll. There's no jump cuts. You know, there's no J&L cuts. It's just one long static shot of me talking about whatever it is I'm talking about, the microphone or LumaFusion, whatever it was. And I'm like, oh my gosh, could I maybe have inserted like a title? B-roll? Like I was talking about the microphone. I'm like, here's a microphone. It's right here. Look how nice. Cringe fest. But now, because I've become so, like, I expect better from myself, it takes so long to edit the videos. And that's one of the reasons why I don't upload as much, because it takes me so long to test the product. It takes me so long to shoot the B-roll and shoot the final video and then edit the video. There's videos that it takes me collectively like 40 hours to put together. Like that's a serious amount of time. And when you look back in your analytics, like maybe I'm making like $5 a month off that video. I'm like, in the long run, a couple months down the road, I may have made like $50 on it, but like I invested all that time. So if you do want to start your own channel, just be ready and invest your time. You have to hit it hard. You have to hit the ground running, and you have to be invested in it. If you want to start your YouTube channel, be prepared for it to take up a big, huge chunk of your time, because it takes commitment. I know my friend Danny at Financial VE, he does LumaFusion tutorials as well. He comes up with amazing stuff, like him and Ponk 80, amazing things that I never would have discovered on LumaFusion, honestly. And he does screen record where I have the overhead camera. He does a screen record, and then he does a voiceover. And sometimes some of the videos he does very intricate. You know, there's a lot going on. And he says he spends so much time on working on the script, and so just be prepared that if you want to start your channel, you must have a certain level of devotion, but you can do it. I promise you, once you upload your first video, you're going to be like, oh, I should have done this earlier. Why didn't I get started earlier? This was not, look, I have nice comments. People appreciate what I've done here. They understand what I've done. So getting back to the woman who left the comment about, it's too late. There's too many piano channels out there. There's too many whatever. It's not true. You are going to be a niche for someone. There are people that will be attracted to you and I'm not even talking about looks. It could be your mannerism. It could be, oops, hold on, my camera went out. It could be the sound of your voice. It could be anything. And you'll see if you stay consistent with what you're doing, you're going to grow. But you have to just be consistent. So I think we've chiseled away a lot of these reasons. And as I said before, they're not really reasons. What any of these are just excuses as to why you can't get started. That's an excuse. I think there's too many, that it's too saturated. There's too many piano channels. It's just completely saturated. No more room for me. That's an excuse. There is someone there that wants to see you. Then before you know it, the algorithm starts recommending you and you will have more and more people. You just can't put up these walls. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, that's going to shine through on the camera. Like if you're just standing there all tense and everything, it's going to shine through. You have to just be yourself. And you don't have to, record videos that are, perfectly produced and so well put together. Just get in front of the camera and hit record and just get used to being in front of the camera. It is going to take practice. Like I said, when I first went in front of, I started my other channel for my company, I was just recording with an iPad. I stood in front of the iPad. I had a lav mic and I had these horrible lights on me and a green screen. Whatever made me think that a green screen was a good idea, I don't know, but I did. And even though there was nobody in the office, I was all by myself. No one was even watching, because I think sometimes when people watch you, that can be a little nerve-wracking. But I was there all alone, and I hit record, and I'm not kidding you. My heart was like, like it started like beating fast. I'm like, what's going on? Why am I nervous? There's nobody here. If I don't like this, I'm just going to delete it. And no one will ever have to see it. No one's ever going to have to know it existed but me. So you just have to get used to it. Little by little, before you know it, it's just, you'll start talking to the camera. When I talk to the camera, I feel like I'm not even talking to a camera. Like I feel like I'm directly reaching out to everyone that watches my channel, who leaves comments, because I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of you on a personal level. Either we've been in communication through email or just through the comment section. And it's a nice feeling knowing that you guys are out there. So when I'm talking to the camera, I feel like I'm just having a conversation with a friend. That's the level you want to get at, but it just takes practice. So I think that's the number one reason why people don't do it is, oh, Aaron. Hi, Aaron. How are you doing? Aaron Anderson in the house. I did green screen. Why? It was a mistake. I don't know why I did it. It was an utter mistake. Aaron lives in Puerto Rico. So lucky. It's so nice there. Ponk said, maybe we can make... I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Hold on. Maybe we can make an affirmation channel that will give more people courage to start a YouTube channel. That's awesome for a channel idea. Anything that you can do, you need to do it. If you feel like you want to do something, no matter what anybody else thinks, you should do it. Because having regrets, living with regrets, that's no way to live. You don't want to, it's really no way to live. If you put yourself out there and it doesn't work out, you know what? Maybe you're dying to start a YouTube channel. You're like, why am I not doing it? You're beating yourself up. Every day you feel like you've let yourself down. It's a disappointment that you haven't done something, uploaded at least one video, and then maybe you do it. And you're like, oh, that was pretty easy. And then you start doing it consistently. Maybe you have some traction. And before you know it, maybe you're like, yeah, I feel like I needed to do that, but now I'm done. Like whatever empty hole YouTube filled, I filled it, and now I'm ready to move on and I'm done. Even if you get to that point, that's okay too. Where you have to do what obviously what makes you happy. You can't continue to do YouTube because your subscribers are like, hey, we miss you. Where have you been? Can you upload something? That's never a reason to do something. You have to do what makes you happy. And like I said, someone had commented before who said we have to start a channel. Nobody. I'm just talking about people who have personally said to me, I want to start a YouTube channel, but there's reasons why they're not doing it. And we've knocked out all of them. Gear, don't need gear. You got a phone, need a cheap microphones, 10, 12 bucks. The bottom line is people are afraid of what other people are going to think of them, right? That's the number one excuse. I'm afraid that, people in my class are going to see it and make fun of me. I'm afraid my older brother's going to see it and he's going to, make fun of me or whatever it is. You can't, like, if a kid came home and said somebody was picking on them because of this, we would say, don't worry what that person thinks. You can't live your life worrying what other people think of you. I know some people do. Some people do, and they don't really have happy lives, right? It's very sad. Aaron said, 13 years later, my YouTube hole is filled and I'm done. LOL. Yeah, but you're still going live with the guy from Australia. I'm so bad with names. The glasses. I just watched one of his videos. How do I not remember this? This is how you know you're getting old, people. When you just watch a channel, David Osler just came to me. See? It's right there on the tip of your tongue and it leaves you and you're like, oh, come back to me. David Osler, that's his name. Yeah, it's terrible. But see now, Aaron, if there's a way to go out of YouTube, it's like Aaron. Aaron left at the top of his game. He made this video with special effects that was off the hook crazy. It was amazing. That gun video you did, David, that was Aaron, that was really amazing. And the mustache one was pretty funny too, if I may say so. But Martin Shaves and Reviews. Hi, Tammy. LumaFusion heard us. They sent me version 3.0 to fix editing issues you had, which I was having too. I sent them your video. Oh, man. I hope Terry doesn't feel like I don't want her to think I was digging LumaFusion, throwing digs at them, because listen, hey, LumaFusion is the best. I don't care what anybody says. It's a $25 editing program. That nothing can ever beat that. Yeah, Aaron, that's like I was saying, I used to consistently upload like 2-3 videos a week. And now it's just, I don't have that kind of time, because now when I first uploaded videos, it was just one long static shot of me talking. Okay, that's super easy to upload and put to YouTube. I could do that all day long. If I was still doing that, I could probably put out like maybe even 5 videos a week at this point. But now I have like expectations of myself that I have to do nice B-roll, that I have to, do J&L cuts and jump cuts, and it can't just be one long static shot, and I have to insert all these crazy titles and make it look good. And I have put this expectation, no one's put it on me but myself. There's no one out there that says, I'm only watching your videos because now you put in titles. I'm only watching your videos because now you've cut the B-roll to the music. That's the only reason I'm watching it. No one's ever going to say that. I've done that to myself. I've set a level of expectation, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe when I review a product, I'll do it David Oster style, how he has the live thing, but actually he does, like, it's not like he does not review it. He takes his time, he does do it, but he just like I'm doing now. He's like, okay, let's talk about this microphone. That's maybe what I'm going to do, because it's like 40 hours sometimes to review a product. It's hard work. Mobile Production says, recently discovered your channel. Thanks for the content. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. Okay, and Ponk80 said, what do you think about collaborating with other YouTubers? And is there a way to get in touch with other beginners who might want to collaborate? I have collaborated. Well, I mean, I've done a couple live things with a few ladies from YouTube. I did a live with Danny from Financial VE. I think the best way to even find out about doing that would be, to start some kind of Facebook group and to say, we're beginning in this field. Who else is beginning? Come join. Let's have a conversation. And because I think, collaborating with your fellow YouTuber, it's a great thing. Like it's amazing getting in touch with people and understanding and sharing your challenges with someone and having them understand what you're going through. And then you can discuss that. Yeah, I think that if that's definitely the way to go. So, I mean, maybe that could be something that you could do, Ponk80, because that's a great idea. On Facebook groups. Yep. I think that's a great way to go. Aaron said, I was the same and I was doing CGI stuff. That takes so much time. It does. Because I'm telling you, that video was awesome that you did. By the way, thanks for replying to my questions. I'm going to reply as much as I can see, because number one, I don't have my glasses on, so it's a little hard to see. And sometimes the comments go up so fast that I'm not able to see. Like in my last video, the one that not the last one, but the one before that, when I was having the audio issues in LumaFusion, Danny actually answered the question. And I was going on and on and on and on. And he had answered it. He's like, I guess you didn't see my comment in your thing. I told you can't mix two different audios. I'm like, no, shucks, I didn't see it. So, if I can see it, I will get to it. But sometimes they go by so fast and I miss them. How long does it take to have a lot of subs? Okay, well, let's define what a lot of subs are. Because when you start your YouTube channel and you get your first dozen subs, to you, that's going to feel like a lot. You're like, oh my gosh, somebody's watching. I don't know who it is, but somebody's out there and they're watching me. How amazing. Then before you know it, you get to a few hundred and you're like, man, I am on fire. I got like hundreds of people that want to watch me. Oh my goodness. Because I never really thought I'd get to 100, to be honest with you. And to prove that point, I did a giveaway at 87 subscribers. I'm like, let's do a giveaway because probably won't make it to 90. So let's go ahead and do a giveaway right here. But before you know it, it keeps going on and on and on. Did you, so how many would you consider are a lot of subscribers? It depends. Like maybe a lot of subscribers to you is just enough to monetize your channel. Everyone's got different qualifications as to what a number is for a lot of subscribers. And by the way, you guys, Aaron Anderson, first guy that ever gave me a shout out. First guy, I couldn't believe it. My friend and I were eating sushi and he started talking to me. He's like, there's this girl, such a hard name to pronounce. And my friend goes, I bet you he's going to say you. I was like, no, he's not going to say me. All of a sudden he said my name. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. My first shout out was amazing and unreal. And obviously the more that you upload to YouTube, the more consistently you upload, YouTube is going to favor you in their algorithm. They'll recommend you more. So the more you're uploading, the more chances you have of getting more subscribers. But I'm telling you, you have to be dedicated to it. You have to be willing to put the time in. Just like anything that you want, you have to be willing to work hard to do it. It took me 12 years to get to 14,000, but it's because I do YouTube videos for a few months, then it disappears for years. So slow growth. Yes. That's where I am right now, Aaron. I feel like because I'm not uploading as frequently as I used to. I'm getting battered in the algorithm, and that's okay. Like I understand. It's not that I'm not putting work in because it's just taking me longer. I think I need to just maybe I can't know, but I wouldn't be able to go back, I think, for me. I have to just dedicate more time to it. And my time is so it's a conundrum is what it is, people. It's a conundrum because you want to do more, but you have a certain standard that you feel like you can't go beneath that standard or else. And once again, this is all self-imposed. I'm doing this to myself. I don't have to make these videos where it takes me 10, 12 hours to edit it. I'm doing it to myself. But the simpler that you can make things, the more that you can get. Case in point, okay, at one time, Aaron, I'm like where you are. I'm like 14,000 subscribers. Our friend Chris, who is Pal2Tech, he's got a channel. And at one time, Chris and I had the exact same number of subscribers. We were all psyched that we hit like 5,000 subscribers. And then he hit 10 before I did. And then like my life fell apart. My mother died. My best friend died. Like all these horrible things had happened to me. And I was like, the last thing I'm going to do is think about making YouTube channel videos. So I took time for me, which you're going to need. And Chris keeps going, keeps churning them out, keeps going. He's like, what? Where is he at, Aaron? Does he have like almost 60,000 subscribers? I think at this point. Yeah, he's all over it. He's got like over 60,000, but he found his niche. So, you want to talk about oversaturated videos. Everyone does gear reviews. Everyone. That's a saturated channel to have, gear reviews. Yet, Chris does gear reviews and he focuses on Fuji cameras. He's got over 60,000 subscribers. Like, he has big companies sponsoring his channel now. So whatever it is that you think is your excuse, okay, I can't do that because too many people are. Look at him, case in point. He's all over that. He's consistently uploading at least twice a week. And, obviously he's monetized his channel and he's found other ways to make money as well. He has like a Patreon thing and he has different memberships. You could buy different tier memberships. And there's other people who, sell merchandise and there's all kinds of ways to make money with YouTube. And obviously AdSense, you can always make money with AdSense. So if that's your thing, like maybe you're thinking about, maybe you're someone that's in high school and your parents, I know when we were in high school, and you were playing Atari or whatever it was back then, your parents were like, you can't spend too much time in front of the TV and the arcade games. Like you're not going to make money with that. Ah! Can you imagine? Not going to make money with playing games. Some people literally make their living, and a nice living, playing games online. So what did those baby boomers know, right? Well, besides they know a lot, but they definitely missed the boat on that one. So that's kind of a joke I have with my dad. But yeah, so you just have to be ready to be dedicated to it and hit it and consistently upload, because the more you do, the better you're going to get at it, the more subscribers you're going to get. So I don't know I didn't see if that lady said how many subscribers she thought was a lot of subscribers. I don't know. I'm gone from home over 100 hours a week at work. So any way I can find to streamline things really helps. And that was from Only My Opinion Tech. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, we're all in this together. We all have the same 24-hour day, and that's it. Like, our time is very finite, and how you spend it is how you spend it. I have a hard time falling asleep. So there's maybe nights where I only sleep like maybe 5 hours, maybe 4, a little bit of insomnia. So instead of, just like laying in bed watching TV, I'd start to edit the videos. It's just time? Where do you trim it from? Like, honestly, I can't trim any more time from my life to invest in YouTube unless I like sold my company and just hit YouTube and try to make a living off of just YouTube. But I have to be honest with you. Like, I started my company when I was in my late 20s, and I was making good money, you guys. I was the national sales director for a major cosmeceutical company. I was making good money. I left that job to start my own company. So imagine leaving a 6-figure position to go to zero. Like, that was a risk. That was a risk. I did that, and I was in my 20s. Huge, huge risk. To do it again, you know, I'm middle-aged now at this point, bear in mind. I'm going to be 50 soon. And if I was in my 20s, I would do this. This is what I would do. All day long, I would have crushed the YouTube. I would have been uploading 6 videos a week. But now I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm a middle-aged woman. I have to be conservative with my decisions because I'm getting older. What if YouTube doesn't pan out and now I've sold my company and now I've got nothing to fall back on? I don't have a college degree. I didn't go to college. I dropped out of high school. Shh. No, seriously, I dropped out of high school because I felt like it wasn't offering me anything. And I wanted to get out there and start earning money and working and learning about things and having a good time too. Mix that in there. But I got a GED. And I like to consider myself an autodidact, which is a self-taught, self-learned person, because I read a lot, which is important. Atari. See, Aaron, probably these youngsters don't know what Atari is, other than maybe they've seen it on a cool t-shirt, like in a retro store or something. Yep. Atari forever. Best game, Asteroids. Definitely. D-Mogul's in the house. Hey, D-Mogul. D-Mogul's going to film school. He's going to be a fat cat director one day. I apologize for my ignorance, Tammy. What is the name of your company? It's Eclectic Skin Prescriptions. It's a skincare company, but I private label skincare. So you may have used a product that's mine, but you'd never know it because it has a doctor's name on it or a medical spa's name on it. So, Ponk 80, I have played on an arcade Atari machine. Cool. That's right. Remember arcades? You'd go in there, put your quarters in, beg your parents for a few bucks and change so you could go there. Did you regret it in your 20s? Did I regret leaving my job when I was in my 20s? No. To start my own company? Nope. Never looked back. Left that job and never looked back. Started my own company. Now what starting my own company meant to me was freedom. I was working like 60, 70 hours a week. I was making a lot of money, but I was traveling a lot and I had no freedom. And I was like, is this life? Like, this is it. Like, I'm working, basically. Like, I felt like I couldn't even enjoy my money that I was making. So the company that I worked at, I started in the warehouse and I kept getting promoted. I was there for like almost 15 years at that job. And I did every single position from the warehouse all the way up to the head of sales. I knew how to run that company. And when I started making really good money, really good commission checks, I said to myself, what if I banked these commission checks for a year? You know, I can live simply. I don't have to drive around a Mercedes or a BMW. You know, I could bank the money and start my own company. And then I could do what I want to do. And that's exactly what I did. I saved my commission checks, had enough money in the bank where I started my own line, and put my notice in and left. I was like, I'm out. Peace out. Started my own company. Oh, my boss was so upset. Oh, she was so mad at me. You know, she's like, she thought I was going to poach clients, and I never did. I could have taken their account list with me and try to poach their clients, but I never did that because I didn't want to burn a bridge. And I respected the woman who owns that company. I respect her very much. I like her. She did me dirty. Something happened in the end. Don't want to talk about it, but I care about her. I respect her. I like her. It was just that one thing that upset me in the end, but I had already decided to leave anyway. I'm not saying that was the final thing, but I was leaving anyway, but it could have been on better terms. But I put a notice in. I just didn't walk out the door. I did it. Whenever you leave a job, always do it that way. Never burn a bridge. Put in a 2-week notice. This way they have someone to fill your position. Don't always leave like a lady or a gentleman. Don't walk out of the door yelling and screaming and I never understood why people would do that. You're making yourself look like an insane person. They have to call security to come get you and bring you out. Don't do that. Leave like the lady and gentleman that you are. People will remember you better that way, other than the lunatic that got dragged out by, the 5-0. So no, I don't regret it. It was the best thing I ever did. Best thing I ever did. And when I say I had freedom, like I could wake up. I remember like the first time that I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't have to wake up at 5:30. I'm going to sleep in. Oh, it's lunchtime. I'm going to go to the driving range and hit a few balls. Let me get a bucket of balls and hit them out on the driving range. Like it was just... my friends, go out to lunch and meet my friends and have a glass of wine if I wanted. Like, it was amazing. I was like, oh, this is my life. Like, I still worked hard. Don't get me wrong. I still worked hard, but I wasn't working the 70 hours that I was. Obviously, the more, like anything, the more time that you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And by the way, this was way before Facebook. This was way before any of that. Way before, what was the first one, really? I can't remember the name of the first one. What was the first social thing? Something, who knows? Who cares? It's gone. Facebook is a thing now. It was before that. So if I wanted clients, I had to go knock on the door, call on the phone, send them a fax. Like, people weren't even really using email then. Like, obviously, I had an email address. I'm like, well, I'll email this to you. Oh, can you fax it? Do you guys even know what a fax machine is? I feel like those things are so dated. Only in my opinion says... I've been with the same company for 36 years so far. It's a bit late to start over. I know that's the way people feel. Like, I feel now too, because now I'm like almost 50 and I've been in this skincare industry for... I started there when I was like 19. So that's like 30 something years. I know how you feel. It's unless you try to do this, because I tell you, I honestly feel that if somebody wanted to make a living out of YouTube, they 100% could do it, as long as you give yourself enough time. Like, I feel like you can't just have no subscribers and quit to do YouTube. I think like you need to have a nice base, like maybe starting at the position that Aaron and I are at, like maybe at this like 14,000, 15,000 mark might be a good time to, okay, you know what? I'm good. This is what it is. This is what I'm doing. And I'm going to focus all of my energy on this. Don't start at zero and say, okay, now I'm quitting my job because now I'm a YouTuber. Now I'm an influencer and I got one sub. No, have a nice base, see how it goes, before you jump in. Because I feel like if I decided to do it and just consistently made videos, like maybe 3-4 a week, if I did that for a few months, YouTube would say, okay, now she's back in the game. Tammy's back. Let's start pushing her channel out. Let's start recommending her. And I probably could get to 25,000 rather quickly. And then the more you have, the more they spread you out there, more, by word of mouth is going to get around, especially if you're on all the different platforms, which, by the way, I break every rule in the YouTube game. I'm on no other social media platform. Oh, shucks, this camera. I'm just on YouTube. I mean, obviously, I have my personal, Facebook and Instagram where, my aunt sends me stuff about the vaccines and stuff. But I don't talk about my channel on those platforms because I feel like just the one is enough. It's just enough for me. It's all I can handle. Yeah, way before MySpace. Thank you, D Mogul. I couldn't think of it. I was like, what's the name of it? Yep. This was way before MySpace. So if I wanted to get in touch with a client, I either had to call them on the telephone, fax them, or knock on their door. Yep, this is true. If I had time, I may put more into YouTube, but still do my pro photo and video work at the same time. It really is hard. I mean, when you have, when you have to have money, I feel like if I was younger, I would do it. Chris does all the platforms. Yeah, he does. He's smart about it too. And do you know, Aaron, is this what he's doing now? I think he might just be doing YouTube now. I can't remember if it was him or someone else that did that video saying that this was it. They were all guns in and all focused on YouTube, and this is what he's doing. I'm pretty sure it was him, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, I mean, so, if that's another thing, you're very interested in doing YouTube, you want to start that channel, but what are your excuses? Because whatever the reasons are, they're not really reasons. They are just excuses. And like I said, I could have done that. I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, no one's going to watch another LumaFusion tutorial video. Who's going to watch that? It's just going to be me. Rob is out there. He's amazing. How am I ever going to do better than his videos? That LumaFusion produced their own tutorial videos. Any of the business did a couple of them. There was a few other channels that were doing LumaFusion. I was like, and it's going to be me. How am I ever going to top that? But I'm glad I took the jump because I don't regret it. This way I don't, even if I stop tomorrow, Chris does do this for a business. He is all in. Yeah. But that's it, right? Or is he still doing his photography and video? I'm not sure. I think he said he was all in. I think it was his channel. If I was younger, if I was in high school, I'd be all over YouTube. I'd be all over everything. I would be all over all the platforms. If I didn't have a job, this would be my job. That would be crazy amazing. So and I feel like I'm still young. It's crazy. When I was in high school, a teenager, and I heard someone was 50, they're old. Oh, that's an old lady right there. This old lady. I feel like I still felt when I was a teenager. It's hard to believe, but I don't feel old. Well, there's moments where I feel very old, pains here at my back. We all get that way. But, for the most part, in my mind, I'm young. And then I see a mirror and then I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not that young anymore. But if I was a teenager, I'd be all over the YouTube. There'd be no stopping me, really. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. So I'm imploring those of you who are interested in starting a YouTube channel or any other thing, maybe your dream is to be on Twitch. Maybe you want to be a gamer. Maybe you're really good at gaming and you have little tips and tricks about games that you want to share with everybody else. It is amazing to me how many people want to sit there and watch other people play games. Oh, by the way, I got an Oculus. That Beat Saber game is amazing. I take the headset off and I'm all sweaty. What a great exercise. I highly recommend it. If you're someone who's looking to lose some weight, invest in an Oculus 2 Quest. Buy a game called Beat Saber and your pounds will just melt away. I'm telling you. And you'll get toned because you're moving around. Oh, what? And it's so much fun. So much fun. Totally worth it. Only in my opinion says, I think for someone in their teens to 20s, they should jump into this big time. They have plenty of time to fail and start over. I completely agree. 1,000%. If you're, but that's the thing. When you're young, the world is your oyster. Like everything is open to you. Everything seems so promising, and they definitely should do it. There was a lot of people in my high school that, obviously they wanted to be famous and, move away and start acting or writing, whatever it was that their ambition was. Like now you can be. Back then, it was a very slim chance that anyone could ever be famous, to like go off and live the big Hollywood Hills dream. And now it's possible that anybody can make themselves famous. As long as you have a camera and you have a microphone and you have a will to do it, anyone. And really, think about when I say famous, I don't mean famous, like famous, but the only difference between famous people and us, what is it? It's just that more people know them. And chances are they got a lot more money. But that's really the only difference, is that they're known by a lot more people. And we can do that for ourselves. One sub at a time, we can let people know who we are and build it from there if that's your dream. Yeah, D-Mogul, I could totally see you getting the Oculus because you get all the fun stuff. You got a lot of good toys there I'm very jealous of in your studio. D-Mogul, I have to force myself not to play games. I get addicted to games too easy and it becomes a problem really fast. Yep, it's the Beat Saber game. I might have a problem with that too. I might be a little addicted to it, but at least it's fun. It keeps you physically fit, and I feel like it helps keep your mind sharp too, because there's a hand-eye coordination thing. So I feel like it works out really good for both ways. My PC just died, so I need to go to CPR, see if I can revive it. Have a great night. Thank you so much for joining Only in My Opinion Tech, and thanks for your input. Very interesting, and have a good night. Imran A says, need advice. Shall I start with vlogging channel or continue with 2 years existing aquarium channel with 800 subs and 2.k hours in 2 years? Need advice. Oh, see, this is good, because if Aaron is still here, he'd be a good one to ask too, because he knows too. What is your bottom line of how much time you're going to invest in YouTube? So you already have 800 subs and you have 2,500 hours in watch time. Should you change the topic of your channel from an aquarium channel to something else? What's the other thing that you were thinking of doing? So, a vlogging thing you said. Okay. Why can't I would keep that channel? Oh my goodness gracious. I would keep the channel. If you already have 800 subs and a lot of watch hours in, I'd keep that channel. Maybe every now and then drop something in there about the aquarium thing, whatever you're doing, but vlog, just go out there and do a vlog. See what people think about it. Just do everything. I don't believe in that your channel has to be one niche and that's it. I do all kinds of things. Like I do gear reviews. I do tutorials. I've talked about personal stuff. I've talked about, I've been very honest with showing my, like, how much money I've earned on YouTube. Like, there's something out there for everyone. I don't think that anyone has to be pigeonholed into one particular niche. I think that you can, I would keep that channel. you almost have 1,000 subs. I'd keep it. I'd keep it. What's the worst that can happen? Someone who is already subscribed to that channel, if you just start dropping in some vlogs, mixing it up and adding some different kind of content, what's the worst thing they're going to say? Oh, what about the turtle, whatever kind of aquarium it is that you have? I think it would be, I would keep it. I don't know what kind of advice Aaron would give. I don't know if he did, but I think I would keep it and just start from there. Or you know what? Hey, you can start another channel. This is the thing. If you wanted, that you can have an unlimited amount of YouTube channels. Who says you can only have one? I would keep that aquarium channel, upload all of the vlog stuff to that aquarium channel, and start a secondary channel where it's just your vlog stuff if you want to, and just see how it goes from there. There's nothing saying you only have to do just one. I would mix it up. Yeah, I think Aaron agrees with me. Thank you, Aaron. And John says, I only started another channel to hide certain videos. I know, that's why I said that, John. I was like, oh, John, well, secret. Yeah. Sometimes it's difficult, you know, you have certain beliefs that you want to put out there, and sometimes they can be controversial to some people. So then you have to hide your identity on the channel. I get it. But I would keep that channel and start a second one. And you can upload that same video that goes to your aquarium channel can go on your new vlog channel, and see, you know, check your statistics, your analytics, and see, okay, who's enjoying what. I mean, if you're shy of 1,000 subs, I'd keep going. I'd keep that channel going. Chances are you're going to monetize that channel first, and maybe eventually you can, you know, monetize the other one. But I would keep that one. Nico Tan says, if you like vlog and still in passion on aquarium, why not combine them? Aquarium vlog. Another great piece of advice. That's a good idea. Thanks, Tammy. Even though I'm thinking same, but thought I could check it out with you guys. Yeah, that's what I would do. If I wanted to, look, let's say I had done that, started a thing about birds, and everybody who subbed to the channel want to talk about my birds or my cats. Like, let's say I started a cat channel. Oh, I thought she was behind me. She dipped out of here. You know, I would keep that channel every now and then, show the cats, but I'd be vlogging away. And, you know, what's the worst that can happen? One of the channels outdoes the other one, and you keep the one that keeps doing well, right? So that could be interesting to see. Be interesting to find out for yourself, right? To see which one does better. Wouldn't it be a thing if you started doing the vlog channel and the vlog channel winds up beating the aquarium channel? That would be interesting. Keep me posted on that. I'm interested to know myself. Okay, so, you know, I think I'm going to wrap it up here, because I think I've pretty much made the point that the only reason why people don't start their YouTube channels, it has nothing to do with your reasons. They're not really reasons. They're excuses. And the biggest excuse is, I'm afraid of what other people will think of me. I've heard it so many times. I'm afraid people will make fun of me. I'm afraid what they're going to say. I'm afraid people from work will find out and watch it. I'm afraid this. Please don't be afraid. You can't live your life in fear. You have to just do it. So what? What if somebody does find out? What if, you know what? What's the worst thing that could happen if somebody watched one of your videos and they laughed at it? And then like a year later, you're like rocking 1 million subs, and you're putting in your letter of resignation because you're leaving because your YouTube channel is making more money than your other paycheck. Like, you can't, it is such a terrible thing living your life feeling like you're under a microscope that somebody else that doesn't like you very much is looking through. You can't do that. You have to live your life with what makes you happy. Like I was the only girl in my family for a long time. I had three brothers. My sister was finally born when I was 17, so spread them out there. But you know, I had a lot of expectations. My mother and father looked so forward to me having their grandchildren, and I don't have children, by the way. And there were so many expectations on me, and I felt like I'm gonna let them down. Like, I knew what I wanted, who I was and who I wanted to be, and I knew it was not a mother. I knew I couldn't live this inauthentic life that they expected me to live. I would have, if I had been forced, I feel like if I stayed in New Jersey, in my hometown, I probably would have wound up, because it's such a small town, I probably would have wound up in a marriage I was not very happy in. And I feel like I would have made, let's be honest, I would have made my husband very unhappy. I would have been a wife that was never happy, probably would have been nasty 24/7 to my husband. I don't think I would have been a good mother to my children. I would have been mean because I wouldn't have been my authentic self, and I would have just been miserable, and I would have made everyone around me miserable, and I probably would have started drinking. I know me. I probably would have started drinking my pain away, and my life could have been a complete nightmare if I didn't leave this small town and get out and live my life for me. Not because of the expectations of what my family expected me, wanted me to be, to do, to be, to look. You know, I was like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to live for me and be happy for me. And I'm glad I did, because, I would have been bad. I would have been one of those women that, you know, I'm not saying my husband would have hit me, but he would have thought about it. I know it. Just because I would have been a horrible, horrible wife. Oh my gosh, don't touch me. That's all I probably would be saying every night. Don't touch me. Oh, get away from me. Oh, what a nightmare it would have been. But thankfully, I lived my life the way I wanted to live my life. And it's, you know, obviously nothing like what was expected of me, but I'm happy. I'm happy. And in the end, my mother was happy for me, and I'm pretty sure my dad's happy for me too. And it all worked out for the best. And I could have been miserable, and I probably would have been eating my pain. So I probably would have been 300 pounds and miserable. I know, see, this is the thing. I know me. I know what I do when I'm in a bad place. And it's, you know, I either would have been a drinker or an eater. I have to do something physical to deal with pain. And it would have been either, I would either, like a wino. I probably would have been a wino, probably. But at least I'm happy. And you have to live your life for yourself, not for anybody else to be happy. So those reasons why you're not doing it, it's just an excuse about what others want or expect or what they think of you. And don't let other people get in your head, please. Live your life for you. That's what I have to say. Wait a minute. I have something here. Oh, I hit the wrong sound effect button. Wait a second. I knew I should have... Hold on a second. Oh, no, that was not the right one either. Wait a second. Wait. Yay. Live your life for you. That was the right one. Okay, well, hopefully this is the right one. Well, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Yeah, my outro. It's my outro, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'm going to take a look at them tomorrow, see if I can help anybody out. Maybe you guys want to help other people out too and answer some questions as well, because we're all a community here. Have a good night.